Hello BookTube. For the second of the two tags I'm doing this Tag Tuesday, I'm going to be doing the Science Fiction Classic Star Trek book tag. This tag was created by BookTube Goddess, and I'll leave a link to the original video in the show notes down below. Prompt number 1. Yeoman Janice Rand. What is a little-known science fiction novel that you wish more people knew about? For this, I'm going to go with Radiance by Catherine M. Valenti. It is a space opera set in a strange, altered solar system in which the planets are closer together and all of them are habitable. It's the story of a documentary filmmaker named Severin Unk who disappeared during a filming expedition to a lost colony on Venus, and it's about her father coming to terms with her death and dealing with his grief in the only way he knows how, which is by making a film of it. And it's an incredibly moving, complex, interesting, weird novel that I wish more people knew about. Prompt number 2, Ensign Chekov. What is your favorite humorous science fiction novel? I remember Accession by Ian M. Banks being a hoot when I read it. It's a part of the Culture series, and it features a mysterious, out-of-context object appearing, and how a rogue mind in the culture manipulates an aggressive alien species called the Affront to sort of engage with the culture over it. And a lot of the dialogue, a lot of the book is devoted to the minds communicating with each other, and they are hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. It's been far too long since I've read Accession. Unfortunately, I haven't quite got on with the other books in the Culture series. Prompt number 3, Nurse Chapel. What science fiction novel has a great main female or non-male character? For this, I'm going to go with The Stars Are Legion by Cameron Hurley, in which there are no male characters at all. The entire population of this massive starship, it's basically an artificial solar system. The entire population, as far as known, are completely composed of women. And it's about politics between various planetoids in this system, and it's interesting. I'm not particularly all that fond of it. I thought it could have been better, but it's definitely one that will match the prompt quite well. Prompt number 4, Lieutenant Sulu. What science fiction novel is notable about how space travel is handled? For this prompt actually gave me some trouble because I tried to do this tag last week, and this one gave me some trouble. But I've been thinking about it, and I think Dune by Frank Herbert, because the problem of faster than light travel is a plot point. So in Dune, the faster than light travel is achieved by near instantaneous movement. And in order to accomplish this, a navigator is needed. Now, in the Dune universe, AI, advanced computers, are outlawed. So a computer, like you would have in Star Trek, isn't available to navigate the ship from point A to point B and avoid running into or appearing in a star or a planet or being hit by an asteroid or something. So, in order to compensate, a select group of humans, the Spacing Guild, are mutated through the spice melange, which can only be found on the planet Arrakis, which gives whoever controls Arrakis and whoever mines the spice enormous control over everyone, and also gives the Spacing Guild a monopoly on transport. Of course, becomes a point of contention because only the Spacing Guild who have been mutated to be able to have prescience to be able to figure out where they're going. So, yeah, so I think Dune actually works here. Prompt number 5, Lieutenant Uhuru. What is your, excuse me, what is your favorite science fiction novel with communication as a main theme? It's not necessarily my favorite. In fact, I bailed on it. But the book that most easily fits this prompt is Embassy Town by China Miéville, which is a novel set on an alien world in which humans are, I think they were either adopted or modified to be able to communicate with the alien species. And how that communication takes place is a key point of the novel. But again, I haven't read it. I've bailed on it, and that's been years ago. I don't always get on with China Miéville's work. I love his Boss Log novels, but everything else, not so much. Prompt number 6, Engineer Scotty. What is your favorite science fiction novel that has a megastructure? I don't remember, because I don't remember how large the object in accession is. I think it was a megastructure. But in an earlier culture novel, Consider Phoebus, there is a ring, massive, or orbital, which is a massive space station that surrounds a star that the culture is particularly noted for. And I think in Matter, there's a massive starship, also by an M. Banks, there too. And of course, the star, excuse me, the Stars Are Legion has that massive starship. And I think also a Desolation Called Peace by Arcady Martin has a really big starship as the folk or megastructure folk. No, I don't think it's that big. So I think I'll kind of stick with the Stars Are Legion and Consider Phoebus. So I'll have Consider Phoebus, even though I've never actually gotten on with that novel at all. It's one of the culture novels that I struggle with quite a lot. Prompt number 7, Dr. McCoy. What is your favorite science fiction novel with biological or medical science as a main theme? Well, I mean, the Stars of Legion does include that as a plot point. I want to say The Wind-Up Girl by Paolo Bacigalupi. But again, it's not quite a favorite of mine. I read it I bailed on it a few years ago, and I really need to get back to it, but I just never find the time. So I think that one has a bit of a biopunk to it. Prompt number 8, Mr. Spock. What is your favorite alien in a science fiction novel? My favorite alien. Well, technically the characters of the culture. Because, I mean, they're all aliens, although they are humanoid. Would count. But is there a more specific one? I think I'll just stick with the culture. Prompt number 9, Captain Kirk. What novel made you fall in love with science fiction as a novel, as a genre? Well, it's not necessarily a novel, as it would be like Star Trek and Babylon 5. Namely The Next Generation and then DS9 Voyager and Babylon 5 that really got me into science fiction. On the fiction side of it, I think Dune by Frank Herbert. Even though I'd read Ender's Game and a science fiction novel that's basically Zulu in space that I don't remember the name of right now, but it would really be Dune. And finally, prompt 10, Harry Mudd. What novel has your favorite unconventional science fiction villain? I think maybe Neuromancer. Has a fairly interesting villain. Also, even though I'm not particularly all that fond of it, I'm quite fond of how A Memory Called Empire by Katie Martine turns out. That has a very memorable villain, or what passes for one, because it's basically everybody's a villain in that one. Or like they all did it. Kind of a Cardassian mystery novel. Yeah, I'll go with that. So that was the science fiction classic Star Trek book tag. If you'd like to do this tag, consider yourselves tagged, and I will be back tomorrow with part 8 of my 2023 library tour. I'll be continuing the classics, canonical, modern, contemporary fiction, poetry, drama shelves. Also, I'll probably be doing a few more tag videos because there are a few that I still want to get to, and maybe something else if the mood strikes. Even though, again, I do have issues with doing discussion videos. So, a new booktube, that's all I got for this evening. So, thank you. Have a great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. So, until then, thank you, booktube, and stay safe.